Hello there viewers, it's me, Dr. Benji FM, or just Dr. Benji on this channel, Dr. Benji Games. That's right, I've got original cool names, don't worry about that. Right, work again for Graham to Glory, and a few changes in personnel. Fernandinho to partner Cazorla in the centre, not something we see too often. And it was whether we could battle through this division and finally make it up to some of the higher reaches. A strong lineup to start things off. Martial, Salah and Coutinho. None of the front three playing their preferred formations or their preferred positions, which I thought was curious. And I always think against those sorts of teams we always have a minor advantage just because they're not playing where they should naturally play. De La Feu, first chance of the game, parried into the feet of Jamie Vardy, and it doesn't matter if it's offside, does it? I hate the sarcastic cheer that FIFA include. Very disappointing, very close decision that one, by the way. But an early chance, well, I always say that, an early chance. What I mean is the first highlight of the game. You can see we're dominating that Roma Budge on that side. 8 shots to I think it was his 3. So it was a solid first half. It was whether we could make him pay. We went close with that offside goal. This time Jamie Vardy is absolutely clattered. Eric Dyer goes straight through him like he's not even there. This is the 82nd minute. For all the shots that are in the game, it was pretty highlightless. So a penalty on 82 was a bit of a lifeline really. Could we finish the game in, do we call it style? I think to some extent we call it style. Santi Cazorla steps up. He's had a mixed emotion with penalties, and he's back in the squad and he scores the penalty, slots it to the left hand side. The keeper dives the wrong way, and it just meant then all we had to do was hold on till the end of the game. Would it happen? Would it happen? Of course it would happen. A 1-0 win for us, easy as you like, and we get ourselves 3 points and sort of battle towards surviving, first things first, in these divisions. I think you'll see it in just a moment. Some coins in the bank, 1,500 coins, lovely old job, and of course that also means we can go and get ourselves a player. But see, 7 points from, do you know what, it's gone so quickly I wasn't even sure, but 7 points, looking good. In the future, yeah, you can see that. I think it's 4 games, 7 points, 1 defeat, of course, 2 wins and a draw. That's right. So we kept with this Brazilian theme. We're working on it slowly but surely, and I figured we'd need a striker. And what's a player I've not used before? This Suarez guy. I think you'd say it's Suarez or Suarez. I'm not too sure. Not a player I've ever used on FIFA in the history of FIFA. But yeah, 79 rated. It's cost me 1,000 coins, which I thought was a bit expensive. But he's going to slot into our Brazilian side at some point. And when that's fully built, we'll begin to use it in the higher divisions. I think having an all-Brazilian side might be quite fun. It's not something I've done actually for a few FIFAs. We were looking for a game with our Premier League side, which we've been sticking with more recently, as it's been doing well for us. And we finally find ourselves a game. It's a familiar foe. It's Gabriel Jesus, who we've seen many times before. Partnered up front with Romelu Lukaku, who doesn't actually play too much against me on Ultimate Team. Ericsson behind him, who's quite an expensive player, so again, you don't see too much of him. Shan and Bakayoko in the centre with Dembele, some physical beasts in there for us to contend with, and yeah, a decent back line too. And this was going to be a tough game, I thought. It was the first chance of the game, and it's a corner kick floated in, literally the first chance this time, 2.5 or so minutes in, and it's a header that comes in from the corner. It's Eric Barley with the finish, and not ideal as far as starts go. No, it's got a really good header though. He got up really well and put it past me, and there wasn't really much I could do about it. It was a bit of a shame. And when you go a goal down, there is sort of that pressure in FIFA to get back in the game as quick as possible. You can see there 2 players challenging for it, Van Dijk and Barley, but he gets the goal. Do you know what I'm looking at there? It's not even a goal. It's a Mark Bartra own goal. Anyway, Jamie Vardy hits the post. De La Feu gets an equaliser. Forget that first goal as we're back in the game. Only 5 minutes gone. And I did say before, it's the sort of situation where you want to score as quick as possible. And luckily we got back in it. Lukaku played through Jesus though on 32, and he was back in the lead. And so far this game is a little bit topsy-turvy. Gabriel Jesus has got to be like one of the most consistent players you see used by everyone on Ultimate Team. In fact, I've used him myself this year on my PC account that I've got when I play FIFA. I guess you would call it the pay-to-win account, because I've bought the occasional FIFA point. You can see there, though, this guy's not bad at all. 56% possession, 5 shots and 93% pass accuracy. It was a challenge. Anytime he had the ball, it was very tricky to get it off him. But lots to play for in the second half. 2-1 down, and I like a challenge. As Jamie Vardy then races through, getting sort of hustled a little bit. It's Dele Alli applying the finish, and it's 2-2 very quickly in the second half, remember, as well. So it leaves us lots of time for things to develop. And 2-2, then who was going to have the next highlight? Well, it came my way. Dele Alli with a superb through ball to Jamie Vardy, who almost catches the keeper out as he hits it first time. It's not in the corner by any means, but it does go into the back of the net. 68 minutes gone now, and we're 3-2 in the lead. And in recent episodes, we've bottled the lead would we bottle it again is the big question. You can see for this through ball though, Dele Alli finding a gap and Jamie Vardy the perfect man on the end. That's kind of what I meant with the whole Danny Graham situation. You just don't see him score. His feet aren't quite as quick, and that was a good example of it as well. You don't see him making those runs in behind. It's not his game. So having a player like Vardy with Ali does give you a bit more flexibility. At 4-3, things were pretty comfortable until Gabriel Jesus on 90 did that, and there was a few minutes of panic at the very end of the game. But luckily for me, there was no 2 goals in 1 minute syndrome this time around, as the game ends with their goalkeeper having it in his arms. And there we are then, a decent win, a very good win actually, in fairness. 4-3, and much needed. I think that's the big thing there. Much needed win and coins in the bank. And of course, with our Brazilian theme right now, it gave us the opportunity to go out and spend it on other ones. 10 points, we survive in this particular division, but with 5 games remaining, a chance of promotion is most certainly on the cards. We had a few little bits and pieces to deal with as well. We get a silver pack, which I don't think I've ever got anything good out of a silver pack, but you can see nearly 8,000 coins, so we can go and purchase someone if we wish to. And I think we go ahead and do just that. We do. Fabinho from Monaco is the man we look for. We've already got Fernandinho, of course, so I wanted someone just as good next to him. And a little bit pricey, considering who we've been buying recently. 2,000 coins for him to slot in next to Fernandinho, and I think he might do rather well for us. Anyway, it was time to search for another game. But before we did that, I wanted to get a few of the Brazilian boys involved, especially Ederson. Adrian, sorry, hadn't been that good for me recently, so I thought I'd mix things up, flip reverse it on your baby, if you know what I'm saying. And it was time to, I was going to say go into our next game, but we're continually making changes here, apparently. I didn't even realise this bit was still in, but yeah, eventually we get ourselves a settled team. Jesse Lingard comes back in as well. I've been punished by him recently, so I thought I'll get him involved, why not? And I put Danny, after all the things I said about Jamie Vardy, I thought let's put Danny back up front, give him a chance to prove himself once again, and we come up against a team like this and you wish that you hadn't done it. A very good team. Didn't get to see it for very long there, viewers, I'm sorry about that. That's Danny Graham's highlight of the first half, where he just bundles into Ederson, 0-0, nothing happening. I mean, the game's barely begun, and that's where we start. So it was one of those games which you assume, right, will be a 1-goal affair, and at half time it was pretty dull. So 3, 2, 1, activate. That's a little bit Robot Wars, isn't it? Ericsson though loses the ball. Danny Graham plays it across this left hand side. Deulofeu, can he find Danny Graham? He can. Graham to win the game. Oh, it's what? Excuse me. Pardon? Oh, he's tumbling. There he goes. What's happened? You might be wondering. Well, we'll look at the replay. This is watching it back now. It still makes me laugh. He just sort of slaps his hand on it, and it goes in the goal. And Danny Graham doesn't get credited with it, which I think is probably fair enough. Ederson own goal, 64 minutes gone, and if that's the way you're going to lose a game, you'd be disappointed, wouldn't you? But don't you worry, Danny Graham, chance perhaps, 90th minute, he weaves his way through. Not quite close, but not quite. So that is the goal that decides it. And I imagine he's gutted. There's no other way to put that, is there, really? But you can see 1-0 then. Lovely result for us. 13 points with 4 remaining. So promotion certainly on the cards. And that would obviously allow us to go out and buy lots more players, which is just what we're looking for as we try and complete this side. Another win, though, meant we could go and get another player. And it was Lucas Moura, the PSG right-sided player, that I thought would be another good addition to this Brazilian team. We're teasing this Brazilian team as we go through, aren't we? I think there's one here for 3,500, which I assume I'll go for. There was one a little bit more expensive. It was a Hunter card, but I thought, no, we'll go with a cheaper version. I'm not really that bothered about chemistry styles, as much as I think they're a bit overpowered on the game. So we slot Lucas into our side, and that is as good as bringing us to the end. It's been interesting using Danny Graham in these upper divisions. It's a lot more difficult because he's not that good, but we're still continuing to battle away. I think this is just me. Now I think about it, I think this might be me applying Lucas to the Brazilian team. That's exactly what's going on. Yeah, Brazil Graha. You can see only 2 spots remaining then, right back and left back. They're the Brazilians we need, and it's only a matter of time, hopefully, before we get them. And that brings us to the end. With love, with care, I think that's been until next time.